The newcomer, his face hidden in the shadows of his hood, confidently accepts the mission, promising he will not just find any handsome man, but will offer the most handsome man in the entire city to the divine child. In the classroom, He-yu is still fuming about the cafeteria. He tells Lin Zichen he investigated the students who cut in line and discovered they are from class 3 of the second year, the same top honors class they are scheduled to challenge. He-yu can't believe students from an elite class could be so rude. Leaning against the lockers, Lin Zichen looks at his phone and remarks that good grades don't mean a person has good manners. His expression shifts as a news alert catches his eye. He reads that another wealthy heir has gone missing, the fifth recently. Knowing the kidnappers haven't asked for ransom and remembering the rat god cult's order to capture nobles, Lin Zichen grimly concludes the cult is behind these disappearances. The day of the competition arrives, and students gather in a large gym with 2 fighting rings. Tension between the classes is high, as the students who bullied He-yu glare at him, and He-yu makes a defiant gesture in return. After both classes warm up, the sparring matches begin. Just as she did last time, Shen Qinghan takes the first fight. Her opponent, a senior from the honors class, immediately attacks with a fierce kick. Shen Qinghan blocks the strike, but the senior's power is too great. Her defense is broken, and she is knocked to the ground, defeated. The senior is formidable, as other first-year girls, including Chu Rui, are also swiftly defeated one by one without landing a single hit. The first year's losing streak is broken when a muscular, short-haired girl defeats the senior with a powerful kick. However, this victory is short-lived. The next senior, a girl with long red hair, immediately seizes control. She is an overwhelming opponent, defeating 9 first-year students in a row in less than 10 minutes, including 3 boys. The first-year class is now down to its last 4 fighters: Lin Zichen, Wang Xiujie, Lu Gang, and He-yu. The situation is bleak, as the second-year honors class has only lost 5 students, all girls. A staggering 36 of their students, none of them boys, have yet to fight. Their teacher, Yao Yuanfeng, clenches his fist, feeling the gap in strength is hopeless. With limited options, Yao Yuanfeng tells He-yu it is his turn, asking if he can take out the 6 remaining girls on the opposing team. He-yu confidently agrees, declaring it will be easy, particularly motivated by fighting more attractive female seniors. True to his word, He-yu handles the matches with ease and successfully knocks all 6 remaining girls out of the ring. With the female fighters defeated, the second-year class's first male student enters the ring with a threatening stomp. He strikes a menacing pose and asks He-yu if he is ready to die. He-yu retorts that his opponent has no manners. Recognizing the student as a bully from the cafeteria, He-yu believes he's a pushover and sees a perfect chance for revenge. He-yu's confidence is misplaced as the bully rushes him with surprising speed. Before He-yu can react, the senior lands a powerful punch to his stomach. He-yu collapses to his knees, stunned. The bully taunts him for being weak and tells him to admit defeat. Enraged, He-yu struggles to his feet and throws a punch, but his opponent easily dodges and counters with a swift kick that sends He-yu flying out of the ring, defeated. Lying on the ground, He-yu realizes with pain that his opponent's strength is far from the lowest among the boys, and curses himself for letting his guard down. Having defeated He-yu, the senior bully turns to Lin Zichen, who is standing by the ring. He mockingly asks if Lin Zichen still wants to medal and challenges him to a fight. Lin Zichen gracefully leaps into the ring, internally noting that he was hoping for this chance. His classmates erupt in cheers, shouting for their brother Chen to crush his opponent and avenge He-yu for his shameful behavior. The match begins, and the bully, Chi Wei, rushes at Lin Zichen with a high kick. Lin Zichen, however, is unfazed. He effortlessly blocks the kick with one hand, then grabs Chi Wei's leg and slams him headfirst into the ring floor with incredible force. The impact knocks Chi Wei out cold. Lin Zichen stands over him for a moment before casually kicking his unconscious body out of the ring. The second-year students are in stunned disbelief. One points out that Chi Wei is one of the top 5 strongest fighters in their class, yet he was taken out instantly. They can't comprehend how a junior could be so powerful. Watching from the sidelines, their teacher Yao Yuanfeng concludes that Lin Zichen must be hiding a great deal of his true power. Lu Gang and Wang Xiujie are equally horrified, wondering if he is even human. Lin Zichen turns to the remaining second-year male students and calmly asks who's next. Their faces contort in fear, terrified by the display. 30 minutes later, the outcome is decided. All 29 remaining students from the second-year class lie defeated. Standing over the last opponent, Lin Zichen wonders about his progress toward his survival of the fittest achievement. A system notification informs him his total count of opponents eliminated is now 119 out of 1,000. He looks at the number with disappointment, realizing the progress is far too slow. He reflects that in every class sparring session, he is always the last to fight, and he decides this slow pace cannot continue. Concluding his strength has far surpassed the high school level, he sees no reason to follow their rules anymore and resolves to make the rules himself. The following Monday, a shocked shout is heard from the principal's office. Inside, the principal of Shanghai High stares at Lin Zichen in disbelief, asking if he truly wants to hold a personal challenge match with rewards. Lin Zichen confirms his request, boldly stating that he wants to challenge the entire school. In her office, the principal of Shanghai High presses her hand to her forehead, bewildered. She asks Lin Zichen if he is serious about challenging the entire student body as a first year. He confirms his intentions and asks her to come to the gym, promising to prove he has the necessary strength. Later, they arrive at the empty gym. The principal crosses her arms and asks why he brought her there so late. As he removes his school jacket, revealing his muscular build, he confidently tells her he is there to show his true power. The principal, flustered, momentarily misinterprets his intentions and tries to stop him. However, Lin Zichen walks over to a heavy barbell and grips it. To her astonishment, he lifts the massive 700-kilogram barbell into the air with one hand, holding it effortlessly. The principal stands frozen in shock. It dawns on her what he meant by showing his power. She realizes his strength already surpasses that of the school's most legendary student, Wu Tiancheng, during his first year. Completely convinced, the principal gives Lin Zixin a thumbs up. She agrees to his request, promising to arrange an event for him to challenge the entire school. With a sheepish grin, he reminds her they must set up rewards, explaining that without prize money, no one would be motivated to challenge him. He then lays out his clever plan for the prizes. He suggests 2 types of rewards, a participation prize to encourage everyone, and a larger, cumulative prize pool that grows with each challenger. Whoever defeats him wins the entire pool. If no one can beat him within the time limit, all the money will be his. The principal, intrigued, smiles and agrees. Lin Zixin makes one final request. Keep his true strength a secret for now. Otherwise, students might be too intimidated. She playfully pats his shoulder and agrees. Later, in her office, she shows Lin Zixin the finalized plan. He confirms it is perfect, thanking her for her hard work. As they speak, 2 teachers, Yao Yuanfeng and Liu Deren, walk by. They are shocked to see the principal's unusually cheerful demeanor towards Lin Zixin, wondering what is going on. Yao Yuanfeng is bewildered, remarking internally how the principal, usually a stern-faced she-devil, is now smiling so pleasantly, completely misinterpreting the situation. At 2 in the afternoon, the student body gathers in the gym, surrounding 2 large fighting rings where Lin Zixin and the principal stand. The principal takes the microphone and begins the announcement. She introduces Lin Zixin, details his recent victories, and explains the rules and prizes for his personal challenge against the entire school. The announcement causes an uproar. The crowd erupts in disbelief and mockery, with many shouting that the principal must have gone crazy. They are insulted by a first-year's arrogance, questioning his confidence. One student angrily points out that defeating the second year's strongest class doesn't mean he can take on the third year's, while another calls him arrogant. Facing the hostile crowd, Lin Zixin calmly announces that starting the next day, he will be in the gym for 2 hours every afternoon, welcoming challengers. Internally, he is pleased by their anger, thinking that with so many eager to fight, he has a good chance of completing his survival of the fittest quest early. The scene shifts to a bustling city street at night. A young man with blonde hair walks alone, sipping a drink. His walk is interrupted when 2 attractive women step in front of him and invite him to a bar. The blonde man looks at them with a cold expression and bluntly tells them to get lost. As they walk away, they mutter that he has no charm. The young man watches them go, annoyed, wondering if Shanghai City is always this lame. The blonde young man is a new member of the Rat God cult, struggling with his first mission. Looking down at the people, he complains that after searching for days, he still hasn't found a single man attractive enough to be a worthy sacrifice. He is consumed by anxiety, picturing his cult leader and worrying how he will be perceived if he fails. He fears failure will lead to being ostracized. He had considered kidnapping a male celebrity, but realized it was impossible, as they are constantly surrounded by bodyguards, and he lacks the power to overcome them. As he walks, the pressure mounts. His deadline is fast approaching, and he is growing desperate. Just as he is lost in thought, Lin Zixin, out for a run in a tank top and shorts, sprints past him. The blonde man turns, and his eyes widen. He is immediately struck by Lin Zixin's appearance, thinking he has finally found an incredibly handsome man. He has found his target. The blonde cultist watches Lin Zixin run, feeling triumphant relief. After searching for so long, he has found the perfect target without even trying. A wide, sinister grin spreads across his face as he confirms his decision. Lin Zixin will be his sacrifice. He begins to follow his target, watching as Lin Zixin turns down a deserted industrial alleyway. Seeing the secluded area, the cultist's face twists into a horrifying black-eyed grin. He knows this is the perfect opportunity. Deciding it is time to strike, he unleashes his power and undergoes a grotesque transformation, his body contorting into a monstrous beast with a massive, tooth-filled maw. However, just as the transformed cultist is about to attack, a brick comes flying out of nowhere and smashes directly into its head with a sickening, bloody impact. The transformed cultist stumbles, clutching its head in pain and confusion after being struck by the brick. From the shadows, Lin Zixin emerges, holding the brick he just threw. He calmly remarks to himself that he didn't expect to find a rat person while out for a run, seeing it as a fortunate chance to increase the unlock progress for his guidebook. The monster trembles in terror, thinking that this human is horrifying and is speaking words it cannot comprehend. It feels incredibly unlucky to have run into him. Before it can react further, the monster collapses to the ground, dead. Lin Zixin looks on in surprise, finding it hard to believe that he killed the creature just by picking up and throwing a single brick. He wonders how a follower of the Rat God cult could possibly be so weak. Deciding not to dwell on it, he quickly kneels beside the dead monster to absorb its life essence before anyone else arrives. A system notification appears, confirming he has devoured a trace of the giant mutant rat's life essence and that his guidebook progress has increased to 8%. He looks at the result with disappointment, noting that it only went up by 1%. He concludes that the pathetically low amount of essence is why this particular rat person was so weak. Thinking about his safety, Lin Zixin decides that he won't be coming out for night runs for a while. He knows that not all of the cult's followers are this weak. Some of the more powerful members have incredibly strong bodies after transforming, durable enough to even withstand firearms. The next morning, Lin Zixin is at home when he sees a shocking news report on television. He learns that at 3 o'clock that morning, the Municipal Public Security Bureau, in cooperation with a chemical tutor from Shanghai University, successfully wiped out the Rat God cult. The report explains that the tutor is a high-level gene fuser who single-handedly defeated the monstrous Rat King. The broadcast shows footage of the incredible battle, where the massive, multi-eyed beast unleashes a terrifying barrage of sharp spikes at the winged, red-haired Gene Fuser. The tutor endures the powerful attack but ultimately emerges victorious. The entire fight lasted only 30 seconds, ending with the colossal Rat King collapsing in defeat as the Gene Fuser lands, securing a swift and decisive victory. Watching the display, Lin Zichen is left in deep thought, his expression grim. He contemplates the immense power he just witnessed, wondering if this is the true strength of a high-level being, and acknowledging how truly formidable it is. In a modern, well-lit room, two men in tactical gear are having a conversation. A blue-haired man, sipping from a cup, asks his companion, a man with spiky orange hair named Tiancheng, if he has been able to contact their teacher yet. Tiancheng confirms that their teacher is still out of contact. He adds that the entire group of powerful individuals who went to suppress a riot at a place called Source Site 36 remain missing. The blue-haired man then asks about the current situation at the site. Tiancheng replies that it is relatively stable, explaining that if it weren't, he wouldn't have been free to come and clean up the little shrimp that escaped during the initial chaos. The blue-haired man seems to question his dismissive term. The blue-haired man reflects on the immense power of the Rat King, a monster that the entire Public Security Bureau was helpless against. He then internally acknowledges that in the face of a genius high-level being like Tiancheng, the monstrous Rat King was indeed just a little shrimp. Changing the subject, the blue-haired man playfully puts his arm around Tiancheng's shoulders, suggesting that since he is already there, he should visit their old school to give a lecture. Tiancheng resists, stating that he isn't an idle person and has a real job to do. The blue-haired man playfully insists, telling him that providing some ideological guidance to their cute junior students is also a form of work. Deep within a dark cavern under the light of the full moon, it is revealed that the Rat King survived its battle with Wu Tiancheng. The creature explains its recent actions, stating that at first, it only ate beggars, then it moved on to eating young people. Now, it kneels in submission, admitting that it eventually developed a taste for the pampered elite. The Rat King is not alone. It prostrates itself before a new, far more terrifying monster, a colossal, green-skinned being with glowing red eyes and immense power. This new monster scolds the Rat King, angrily telling it that it went to great trouble to bring the Rat King there to have its clan dig tunnels. Instead, the Rat King went around eating people and caused a huge commotion that drew unwanted attention. The giant monster glares down and menacingly asks the Rat King if it believes it deserves to die for its failure. Terrified, the Rat King begs its master for another chance. The giant monster considers the plea and agrees that it can give the Rat King another chance, but it clarifies that there will be a price to pay. Without another word, the monster's clawed hand strikes the Rat King, and a spray of blood fills the air.